John Nolan. I'm owner of Greenville History Tours, and we're here for another Greenville Minute. And I'm here right at Court Square, right in the center of where Greenville started. This area right here, Court Square, began in 1797 with a courthouse right here in front of me. And today we have a statue of Joel Poinsett that's here on the square. And he was a big part of Greenville's early life. And he had a big estate in Charleston. And he spent 17 summers here in Greenville, like a lot of Charlestonians did. But he didn't stay at the mansion house that used to be back behind me here. He had a summer home up in the mountains. And everybody knows, I think, that he's most associated with the poinsettia flower. And there's an image of that on this statue here. But he was an amateur botanist. And so when he was America's first ambassador to Mexico, he found that flower growing wildly all around in Mexico, and he loved it. So he brought the flower back here to South Carolina, started cultivating it for the first time in America. So they named it the poinsettia after him. So that's what most people identify him with, and rightly so. But he was later Secretary of War under President Van Buren. So very important politician living here in Greenville, so we claim him for everything. There's so many things in Greenville named Poinsett. And so this was one of the first statues that was put downtown when the public art program began several decades ago. And so he's sitting here writing, which he would have done a lot of as a politician. And of course they didn't have email back then, so everything was handwritten. And he's writing in the statue here. Now I'm going to show you one of my most prized possessions. And those of you who've been to my tours, you've seen me carry this little bag around. And I'm going to show you something that's very old and very cool. All right. So this letter right here, this was written by Joel Poinsett in 1839, which was 187 years ago. So he's writing here in the statue, but he literally wrote this letter 187 years ago. Absolutely beautiful handwriting. There's his signature right there at the bottom, J.R. Joel Roberts Poinsett. And when he wrote this in 1839, he was Secretary of War under Van Buren. And what they're doing in this letter is listing military expenses for a regiment in Virginia, a regiment of dragoons, which were mounted, fighters, people that were fighting in the army on horseback called dragoons. And so this was an approval letter for expenses for that regiment, Virginia. So he's itemizing things out, pots and pans and blankets and uniforms and boots, very practical things that he, as Secretary of War, had to approve. So this is not in front of his real hands, but it's been 187 years since this letter has been in proximity to his real hands. So I love putting people in touch with history. I love talking about it, but on a lot of my tours, you'll see artifacts as well that will literally put you in touch with history, and this is a pretty cool document. So that's another Greenville Minute for you. Stay tuned for another Greenville Minute coming real soon.